20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Houston Texans. I'm Brandon Godden along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions for him last year until a back injury knocked him out in Week 14. Wentz now on first down. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And complete to Zach Ertz. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Now Wentz. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
2-time All-Pro center Jason Kelce is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They're running it. Kill.
On first down, they run with Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson was made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Texans offense heading out, and it's Deshaun Watson leading the way, the 3rd-year man out of Clemson. Last year, 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but the big number for the Texans, he was sacked a league-high 62 times. They'll try to do better in this one. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea where they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. Fells has it, left side. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now the 3rd year back out of Texas, Deontay Foreman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is taken at the 18. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey. 73 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And he rifles one incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Shotgun now for Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd and 15 now. Wentz. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Hey, 4-1 Mike, 4-1 Mike.
Wentz going to throw. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's Foreman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
Watson now to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack on 1st down, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big pickup of 38. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Everyone's got 4 down. Check.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field.
Holding.
And they're already walking backwards. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So on fourth down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash, this from 53. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
You can't block me. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Throwing now is Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
Now Wentz again. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Watson going to give this one to Miller. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense. He's getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz arcs over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless, able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he spins through. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Forced out to his left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
And he will have a touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out, and the Texans get a bit closer. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing, because right now it feels like pitch and catch.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
And they're the recipient of a nice gift here late in the half with a real chance to put points on the board.
And it's been a difficult half for them. And
pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the runs.
And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
It's going to be a long day.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Back to throw, Watson. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Watson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Over the middle, it's Fells. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A carry for Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
To throw is Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. From 6 yards away. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz, and this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Philly. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
A 43-yard attempt.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. Happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Fletcher Cox picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Watson with a give to Miller. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Malik Jackson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. Gets through, and now an opening. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Sproles. He juked him. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw is Wentz. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the 16, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. To Sean Gibson. Give him the sack on the safety blitz. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader. Making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. The Texans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless, getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing just outside his own goal line. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Here we go.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Watson on first down. He'll air it out deep for Talent. It got his man complete. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Now Foreman trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Texans on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point,
and he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Malik Jackson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now it's Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because it went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs. Hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Here's Sproles. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what you said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. That's complete right around the 8. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. Throw left side, completes a QT. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and inches.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he's got Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down like we saw there. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 58 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. So that drive, 4 plays. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now wins. And it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40, the 20. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th. Wow. So a late score here to give them the lead, and this one is going down to the wire.
And it has the whole place buzzing, doesn't it? You can feel it start to ratchet up. Anytime there's a score late in the game, especially one that puts a team in the lead, creates an exciting finish.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 5.
Next to score, Texans 31, Eagles 26. Fairbairn set to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. And they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure defensively, Charles?
I think you send a little more pressure than what is normal. If you normally want to send a 3-man rush, maybe you make it 4. If it's 4, maybe you make it 5. Anything to make sure that he can't just sit back there all day and find a target. And then you tell your secondary, play your normal coverage and maybe an extra step or 2 back.
Yeah, be careful that nothing goes over the top. On first down, Howard trying to run inside, but nothing there. DJ Reader there on the tackle. They'll look to throw.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but now it'll be 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Wentz to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He's back to throw. This complete left side to Aguilar. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now a play fake. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Here we go. Ready? Tight end right. Hey, we got 3 down.
Into the red zone. Wentz. And he's got it. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So they're unable to stretch it to a 3-point lead. Now you got to be careful on the kickoff because a field goal obviously beats you.
Definitely, and that's why they went for 2. They wanted to make sure a field goal wouldn't beat them. Now they're in a position where they've got to cover well and make sure they don't get into range and put one through the post.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. One last throw here for Watson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.